despite all of those things that happened. So I'm really proud of myself for facing those fears and being cringe. Hello friends, and welcome to the 2025 mid-year reset video. I'm Rachel. I make cozy productivity vlogs that help you find the magic in the mundane and help you build a life that you actually enjoy. So in today's video, I have quite a few things left to do on my monthly reset list. I already started crossing a few things off. I cleaned pretty much the whole house, like the usual weekly house clean. I filmed an outro and published a work life diaries video, so that is up now. And I turned in the rent check this week because the rent was due. So this morning I got up bright and early, did my workout, and then I spent pretty much all of my day cleaning the bathroom, cleaning the kitchen, washing dishes, all that type of stuff. So I am a bit tired because I spent probably like 5-6 hours like really just like cleaning, because I'm still catching up from everything kind of like crazy happening in my life. If you have not seen any of my other videos, you might want to check out my work life diaries, because I talk about kind of just the craziness that has been the first 6 months. And I'm still getting caught up. I'm still getting back into the routine. There's a lot of stuff to do and a lot of reflecting. I have not looked at my goals recently, so I definitely want to do that. Today is Sunday, July 6th, so I have off tomorrow. I took an extra day off to get that nice 4-day holiday weekend from the 4th of July. So a lot of the goal stuff I'm going to be doing tomorrow morning when I have the brain power. So tonight we're going to be focusing on low energy tasks. I'm going to do some food prep. I'm going to make cold brew coffee because I am really craving cold brew and I haven't made any in a long time. So we're going to make that, and I'm going to take you with me and just share everything that's been going on in my life, my goal planning, how I've been doing. I'm going to get into doing some minor food prep, and I will check in with you later. For my mid-year reset, I started by pulling out my Cultivate What Matters goal planner and reviewing the goals I set at the beginning of the year. Some of them, like my YouTube strategy and my Becoming Her project, were broken down more in detail on my computer. The Becoming Her project is my vision for what I want my ideal life to look like, and I go into more detail about that in my How to Do a Life Audit video if you're interested in learning more. I also completed the life evaluation section in my planner, rating different areas of my life from a scale of 1 to 10 and writing down why I gave each score. Then I journaled my wins from the year so far. Lastly, I reflected on what didn't go so well, because facing the hard stuff is where the growth really happens. Okay, so I am taking a bit of a break from the goal planning, the review, the mid-year audit. I think I've been sitting there for about an hour now, just like reflecting, looking at my goals. To be honest, I have not been goal planning that much just because of everything that was going on in my life. I think I actually only planned out 2 months so far this year, so my goal planner isn't being used that much, which is really unfortunate, but we're gonna finish the rest of the year with goals. We're going to plan, we're going to reflect more. I'm going to get back into doing these monthly reset routines. I definitely have been very hands off and not good about that this year. So that's the whole point of doing this Mid-year reset is to get back in the groove, reassess everything, look at my goals, look at my life audit, look at the planning that I did prior to 2025. But I definitely need a break. I'm going to brush my teeth. I'm going to take my supplements. I might get up and move around a little bit because I've been sitting for so long. So just taking a break. I do like to have breaks between the mental focus stuff. So when I'm doing very heavy brain work, I usually can only do it for like 45 minutes to an hour, and I have to get up and move around for 15 or 20 minutes and then go back to what I was doing. Otherwise, my body starts hurting and I start getting confused or having a hard time focusing. So I have a lot more laundry to do. I have to wash my bed linens. I have not been washing them as often as I should. You're supposed to wash your linens once a week. I'm lucky if I get it done like once a month, which is really gross. I used to wash everything once a week. With the busyness that I've been having with the schedule, we have a shared washer and dryer, so sometimes it's hard for me to squeeze in because I have to do like 3 loads of laundry to wash all my linens, so it's been hard to get that in. I'm just behind, so again, that's kind of like the theme of this mid-year reset, is like having a really hard beginning of the year and trying to get back into the swing of things to like finish the year out strong and just getting caught up. I have completed my reflection, my review. It does take a little bit longer to do the mid-year review because you're kind of reflecting on everything instead of just the previous month. And since I haven't been consistently doing my monthly resets, I really had to go back and reflect because I couldn't even remember what my goals were. And I never really even finished putting my goals in my Power Sheets goal planner this year. Everything was just kind of crazy and not how I normally do things. So let's just like address the elephant in the room if you're new to this channel. So I was laid off last January in 2024, and it took me a year to get a job. Prior to that, when I was working, I was completely remote for 5 years, and then I went back to the company that laid me off this year, and I had to go back into the office 1 day a week. So the transition from remote for 5 years, not working at all for a year, to going back into the office once a week was kind of like a weird transition for me. On top of that, both of my grandparents passed away at the beginning of the year. My grandfather passed away in February, and then my grandmother, his wife, passed away at the end of April. This was the first time I've experienced loss of someone that I was like extremely close to. I was very close to my grandparents. They practically raised me. They were our babysitters. They lived next to us, so it was very devastating. I was heartbroken, and it's still really hard. I don't go a single day without thinking about them, and I'm still experiencing grief. It's still been really hard. So the new job combined with the new routine, combined with my grandparents passing away, and then just dealing with like regular life stuff, like little things come up here and there that aren't that great. It's been hard. It's been a transition. I have said this over and over again in my work life diaries videos, and maybe in the 1 or 2 resets that I did, that I have felt like I was in survive mode and not thriving. So a lot of things that I love to do, like cooking, cleaning, organizing, going on solo dates, exploring, just things that I like to do for fun, have really been put on the back burner. It's been hard for me to find a balance with everything. So that's kind of where I am coming from. So despite all of those things that happened and kind of just the mood and tone that has been the last 6 months of my life, I still have a lot of wins and I've still made a lot of progress. So before I go and throw my laundry in, I thought I would share a few of those wins with you. Typically in these resets, I don't share the goals that I'm planning, but I do share the progress that I made after I have completed them. Here's just some of the wins that I made, and these are a reflection of some of the goals that I completed as well. So for YouTube, this was like a really big struggle for me because last year when I was unemployed, I managed to get monetized and hit 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours, and I did that because my Unemployed Diaries series really popped off. But then when I got this new job, I couldn't do Unemployed Diaries anymore. I wasn't job searching, so I switched to Work Life Diaries, and so that was kind of a content switch. And then on top of that, with my grandparents passing away, I went over like a month without posting a couple times. Not posting consistently for a month and then changing your content really throws off YouTube. So I basically have to rebuild my YouTube channel from Work Life Diaries and get back to posting. My YouTube channel has not been performing well. I'm going to be honest with you about that. I have mentioned that in previous videos, and I am trying to get back into the traction of YouTube. So despite everything, I still managed to post 12 videos from January to July 5th. I just posted a video, July 6th. I just posted a Work Life Diaries video yesterday. So that's actually pretty good because before I was laid off, I tried doing YouTube along with my full-time job and I never could do it. I just didn't have the momentum, but getting that 1,000 subscribers and getting monetized kind of gave me the push I needed to force myself to figure out a way to do it while I work full time. I feel confident that I can keep up posting on YouTube consistently so that way the algorithm can get used to my new content and used to me posting again, and hopefully get back to growing my YouTube channel and keeping it monetized and using it as an additional source of income. The next win is that I posted 30 times on LinkedIn, which is just slightly over once a week for the last 6 months. This is another part of my personal brand that I don't talk too much on here, but I do post content on LinkedIn, and that's still in an experimental stage. So getting 30 posts in within 6 months was hitting that goal. I have gained quite a few followers and connections on there, mostly through a certificate program that I did, but I am trying to be more active on there. I'm trying to comment on other posts as well, just to increase my personal brand there. That's a whole other story for another time, and I'm still working on a strategy and a plan for LinkedIn. So if you want to know more about LinkedIn strategy, personal brands, let me know in the comments, because I don't talk about it too much on here. So if you are interested in that, let me know and maybe I can pop out a video or something about that. Some wins from work and career. I am happy to say that I am absolutely crushing this new job. I feel so confident. I picked up the job really quickly. I just hopped right in and just started doing the job, and it just felt really natural to me. I really enjoy the job. I am at the point now where I'm starting to address process improvements and make process guides and documents for our team, as well as people outside of our team that we create letters for. And it's just going really well. I really enjoy my team. I really enjoy my manager. I feel really confident in my position. It is a huge difference in how I feel at this job compared to my last job with a company. It's like night and day. It feels like I finally found a good culture fit for me, which is what I really wanted. Like the whole time that I was unemployed, my big thing was I have to find a job that I like, that I feel confident in, that I feel like I can be myself in, and that's a good culture fit. So I am so grateful that I found that, and I hope I continue to feel that way. So the next wins are coming from learning, and one of my big goals this year was to learn more about project management, especially because that's something that we use at the new position I'm in. And I was able to successfully complete the Safe Agile certificate. So I am a certified practitioner of SAFe for teams. If you don't know what SAFe is, it stands for Scaled Agile Framework. So it's just like a project management theory. And we don't fully practice SAFe. We kind of do like a condensed version to make it work for how we handle our projects. But I got certified in that through my employer, so I'm really grateful because they paid for the course. I got to do it while I was at work, so it was kind of like a 2-for-1 deal where I didn't have to do anything outside of work, which saves time and money. So I'm really grateful for that. And I also completed another certificate program already this year, and that is from Girls in Marketing. It is a digital marketing growth program. So that was a 2-week program, 2 days a week, and there was multiple sessions during each day. So I learned a lot about content strategy, a lot about marketing from there, and there's a lot of great little tidbits and nuggets that I learned that I'm going to apply to this channel as well as my LinkedIn. So that was really fun and exciting, and the vibes in that is always great because you get to connect with a bunch of really cool and interesting people. So I really enjoyed that. It was a great chance to network. So I'm really proud that I was already able to knock 2 certificates out of the park and onto my resume and onto LinkedIn. It's only 6 months into the year. I am currently in the progress of doing a yellow belt for Lean Six Sigma. That is through my work as well. That is a free course, and I started that at the beginning of the year, and then I got super busy with life, work, everything that I already mentioned, so I wasn't able to complete it. So I probably will have to go back and just start from the beginning because it's been so long since I did it. But I do plan on completing that this year, and I'm not sure where I'm gonna go from there with like the professional growth. I have considered doing a couple courses and certificates that are more applicable to YouTube and video editing, just to kind of get my skills up on this channel. So we'll see. It also depends on how much time I have, but I think getting 3 certificates a year is like a huge win. Last year I had 3 certificates, so I'm already matching last year with working a full-time job and YouTube. So I think that's pretty impressive. So I'm really proud of myself for completing that. So the next thing is something that I'm really excited to share because this has been on my goal list since 2015. 10 years ago. And I always wanted to make it a habit to exercise, to work out. Sometimes, I think a couple years ago, I wanted to be like a fitness girly. I always wanted to just find a way to fall in love with fitness and exercise and feel confident in my body and to feel good about myself. So this year I decided that this was finally going to be the year. I just put myself in the mindset that we are not going to have excuses. We're not going to fall out of our habits. This is going to be the year that this is going to become a thing. You may already know that I'm doing the 75 soft challenge. That is something that I've been wanting to do for 2 years, and I'm almost done with that. I'm on day 60 or something. So I think I'm going to film like the final week, and I have 3 videos coming up for that. So more to come on that. But I am happy to say that I successfully made exercise a habit, and I wrote down here, I went back through my phone and looked at every single day that I exercise. So I have exercised 85 out of 181 days from January 1st to June 30th, which is about 47%, averaging 20 minutes per workout. So this is the most consistent that I have ever been with intentional movement, exercise, fitness, and I'm really proud of myself. And I think the reason that I finally am finding success is because I took the pressure off. I talk a lot about this in 75 Soft, so I'm not going to dive into this too much here. But if you want to hear more about health and wellness and how I'm making that a habit, I recommend watching my 75 Soft series because I talk about that way more detail in that series. Some other just like random things that I've noticed from this year is that my confidence in general is super high. And this was something that I talked about in a video I came out with last year about YouTube being worth it, even though I didn't hit 1,000 subscribers yet, is that I noticed that me talking on camera, saying how I feel and talking about myself and my life and sharing insights that I have, tips and tricks, etc., has really definitely given me a new confidence despite getting some nasty comments on my channel. It's like definitely given me a tougher skin to just like put myself out there and understand that not everybody's gonna like you, which is fine. But I feel way more confident just in every aspect of my life, especially at work. I feel like I can be myself, and some of like the quirkiness about me that I don't usually show to everybody, I am kind of bringing that to work, and I'm not afraid to do it anymore. I kind of just don't care. I'm just like, I'm gonna say what I want to say. I'm gonna be myself, and if you don't like me, then that's not my problem. That's just kind of the attitude that I have going into this year. So I'm really proud of myself, because younger Rachel was very, very shy, very quiet, very introverted, very scared, not really great at being social. So I have done a lot of things this year that has put me out of my comfort zone, that makes me scared intentionally to face my fears. One of the things that I did this year is I went to an alumni event at my university. My manager ended up going with me because we graduated from the same university, but that was something that I always dreamed of doing as a college student, was coming back and going to an alumni event and networking and meeting people. And I finally did it, and I graduated over 10 years ago. So it took me 10 years to gain the confidence to go back to my university and do something like that. So I'm doing things that I never thought that I could do, because I was always so scared of looking weird or saying the wrong thing or being socially awkward. And now, instead of letting those fears hold me back and just not doing them, I'm just putting myself in the situation and doing it. So I'm really proud of myself for facing those fears and being cringe and forcing myself out of my comfort zone to improve myself and to learn more about myself and just to better myself in general. So that was a bit of a long-winded insight into some of my wins this year, but I am going to switch from mind work and thinking and writing and get back into doing some physical things. I'm going to do laundry. Good morning. So it is now Friday, and it has been a few days since I've done anything for my mid-year reset. Two reasons for that is because an old injury flared up. I have pain in my neck. It's in the back of my neck, and then it shoots down into my shoulder, and then it goes underneath into my arm. And it was definitely acting up on Sunday a little bit when I was lifting. I was like, okay, that hurts. Lowered the weight and it still kind of hurt. And I was like, I don't know, maybe I slept on it weird, something like that. And then Monday I felt it a little bit and I just did yoga. And then Tuesday I woke up, tried to put on workout clothes, and I could barely move. And there was just this huge, massive, sharp pain shooting through like here the whole way down into my arm. Couldn't lift my arm to take a shower. Wednesday was really bad. I had to ice it, so I was not able to move. I haven't been able to work out for a few days, so that kind of put a damper in me doing any cleaning or tidying. And then work got mad crazy this week, and I'm assuming today it's gonna still be really crazy because we have a few people that are out, so I have to cover for a lot of people. There's a lot of stuff going on. This job is crazy. It's very, very busy. There's a lot of projects, there's a lot of work, so it's been hard to do stuff outside of work because afterwards I'm so mentally exhausted that I just make dinner, clean up a little bit, and then go to bed. Some days I don't even get a chance to like read a book. I can't even watch TV to relax or anything like that because I'm just so tired and I just go straight to bed. So we're gonna try to get some stuff done today. I do have a little bit of time before I have to start work. It's 8:30 and I typically log in around 8:45. So I'm gonna try to get something done, but I did just want to check in and kind of like look at what I've already accomplished. So I have my list right here. So I did do some of the meal prepping. I made the blackberry compote and I made the garlic skate pesto. That's something that's been on my do list for a while. So I'm going to technically just cross this off because that's what I was referring to. And I do a meal prep every week, but that was just getting caught up in backlog of meal prep. So I did turn in the rent check. I published the work-life diaries. I did do the house clean. I wrote down my wins and my favorites. I did a backlog item, but I'll get to that in a second. I still have to do the spending summary. I didn't finish all the laundry. I got a letter from the US Census asking me to participate in that, which you are required by law to do so, and they sent me a second notice because I haven't had time to do it. So I'm gonna do that later this afternoon, I think, because I don't know how long it takes and I don't want to get involved in that and then have work blow up. So that's probably gonna be done later. I reviewed my goals, but I didn't set them. So I still have to do that. And I have a really big backlog list, and this is something that I recently created because it's just stuff that I've been meaning to do, but I just never get time to do it. I paid off 2 of my high interest rate student loans, which was really awesome. So I'm really happy that I did that because that's a part of my financial goals. I washed my bed. That's something I used to do every week, and now I'm lucky if I get to do it once a month, which is really, really gross. I understand that, but we share the laundry, and I also had to fight Kevin for the laundry because it's just hard. It's hard to get laundry, and when you share it with like 3 other people. Okay, get knives sharpened. This has been something we've been wanting to do for a while, and Kevin is gonna go pick them up today. We got our knives professionally sharpened because I don't have time to learn how to use my whetstone, and I'm also afraid of messing up my Shun and Wusthof knives because they are like a higher quality, higher end knife, and I don't want to ruin them. So I got that done, and Kevin washed the windows for me. I did help him with that a little bit, but that got done. So we actually got a lot of stuff done on the backlog, but I still have a pretty big list here of things that I need to do, including the census. So I'm hoping that today and then maybe over this weekend I can get a few more things done. We're going to talk about favorites, and to be honest, I don't really have a lot from the past 6 months because my life has just been such a whirlwind of craziness. So there's not a lot here, but I am going to start with cooking and baking, and this is probably the biggest list because I am a huge foodie. I love to cook. That's probably obvious from a lot of my other videos, but there are a few things that I made this year that I really enjoyed making and thought were really good. So first one is fermented hot sauce. Kevin and I actually made this together. This was a combined effort. We used a recipe that we found online and it was really good. It wasn't super hot. It definitely had a peppery taste to it and a little bit of floral notes because we added hibiscus to it. It was good, and I am not a big hot sauce person, so I definitely tasted it just because me being the home cook chef that I am had to taste it even though I don't like hot sauce. And we ended up giving most of it away to our friends and family, but everybody raved about it. I thought it was a little bit too floral, so if I were to make it again, I would cut down on the hibiscus a little bit and maybe add some hotter peppers. We are going to try some other variations of fermented hot sauce. So eventually we're going to do that because we no longer have any hot sauce. And I think everyone that we gave the hot sauce to no longer has it as well. So we definitely need to make it again. And because it's fermented, it does take about a month or so to ferment in a dark, cool area. So it's definitely a labor of love. You definitely have to wait and be patient to get the hot sauce out of it. So we should probably do that soon. So the next thing, and I am so proud of this cake, but I made Kevin a cake and this was for his birthday. He has 2 quads and I was able to find a little like toy version of the quad he has, and so I put that on top of his cake. Obviously there's going to be a picture up here. I just had such a good time making it. I decided that I wanted to learn how to bake cakes and decorate them in the winter. So for our Yule solstice meal that we have every year, I made a red velvet cake and it was amazing. So I decided to make Kevin a birthday cake, and I wanted to decorate it like this because it's special to him, and then he got to keep the cake topper quad that is the same thing that he has in real life. So that was really cool. It was fun. The cake was a little dry, and I did use a recipe that I found online, just some random recipe. But I'm still learning about baking cakes and decorating. I am not a professional by any means, and baking and like knowing everything about baking and the chemistry behind all that I'm familiar with, but I'm not an expert in. I definitely have more experience cooking, so I'm hoping that I can get better with that. And I want to start making everybody homemade birthday cakes because I think that is so special. And I'm gonna just like share like a little memory here because I just thought about it. But my grandmother, the one that passed away, she made everybody a homemade birthday cake every single year, and she made a chocolate cake with white icing. And let me tell you what, this cake was the best cake ever. It was so good. It wasn't overly sweet. The icing wasn't thick. It was creamy, and we always had it with ice cream, and I usually asked for a glass of milk because I just needed something to wash it down with. But she just always made everyone feel special, and she was a big cook. She actually worked in kitchens and restaurants. That was her love language, and so I think some of that I obviously got from her, which is probably why I love cooking and hosting and learning how to bake. So for me to be able to continue that tradition of baking a cake and decorating it by hand, and she always did the lettering, happy birthday Rachel, or happy birthday, you know, whoever's birthday it was, she always did that. And if I can pass that down to somebody else, like that joy that I got from having my grandmother make me a birthday cake every year, and she always would like candles. She would have your birthday cake with your birthday meal, whatever you wanted. Typically, I always wanted waffles with chicken and gravy, which maybe sounds really weird. You think waffles and chicken. It is so good. You roast the chicken, there's gravy, you put the butter, you put the syrup, and then you put gravy on top with the chicken and mashed potatoes. Fire. So good, so good. And my mom has a birthday 2 days after me, and that was her favorite too. So we always did our birthdays together, but she got out the nice tablecloths. She got out the taper candles. She got out these special glasses that she had. They were frosted with gold leaves on. And I actually just bought a replacement for my mom for her collection because it's hers now. So I'll put a picture up on the screen. But if I could bring that joy and that feeling of it's your special day to somebody else like my grandmother did, that would mean so much to me. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. That's actually kind of a great memory to have. And so that's what I'm hoping to pass down by learning how to bake and decorate cakes. But I'm going to take a moment to collect myself because thinking about it is making me like cry happy tears. So please hold. Okay, I think I'm good to continue. The next few things on the food list, we're still on favorite foods, are things that I bought out, and one of them is the Moonlit Burger Moonrock Shake. That is a restaurant that is local to Pittsburgh area. They have a few different locations, and the Moonrock Shake is a kind of like a spin of the Shamrock Shake, and it is so good. It's delicious, and I think I talked about this in another video as well, I think in my April favorites, and it actually has a special connection to my grandfather that passed because him and I would always go and get Shamrock Shakes together when I was a kid. So even this like has like a special memory to it as well. It's definitely something that's one of my favorites from this year. So the next one's a coffee. We took a trip to Morgantown, West Virginia, and there was this Yemen coffee hut coffee shop, and I had a pistachio latte, and the pistachio syrup was not like a liquid like fake syrup. It actually was a pistachio creamy syrup. I've never had anything like this before. Fabulous. It was so good. Definitely one of the most unique lattes I've ever had. It was divine. It was super delicious. I'll put their information in the description box. And the next is just stuff that I've made. So I made strip steak with ramp butter potatoes, chimichurri, and a side salad. I make the ramp butter myself. I get it every year because my dad is a forager, so he gets me ramps and I make butter. So that was a really tasty meal. So the next meal that I made was chicken with jasmine rice and strawberry salsa and avocado crema. This is like one of my go-to recipes. And you can swap the strawberries out for any fruit. So it's basically a fruit salsa, and then I make the avocado crema the same way every time, and then the rice and the chicken. It's super good. I do want to start sharing recipes more. I can't decide if I want to put them on my blog or on Substack or both. So let me know what you think in the comments. Should I do it on my blog, which is my website, Substack, or both? Let me know what you think in the comments. So then my other one was a spring salad. I'll post a picture. I can't remember where I found this, but it was so good. Okay, moving right along, I do have a few favorite outfits from this year. The first outfit is an outfit that Kevin absolutely hates, but it is this leopard print pant outfit, and Kevin hates leopard print, so I stopped wearing it for a long time, and then I was like kind of over it. It was a phase. I wore a lot of leopard print and zebra print in college, and I was just I had enough of it. He hated it, and I was just like, yeah, I kind of get what you're saying. And then recently I've been seeing a lot of leopard print, but in a very like girly, feminine way, but also in kind of like an edgy glam way, and it's been really inspiring me. And I was looking at pictures on Pinterest, and these jeans, I was just, where are they getting these jeans? They're so cute. And so I did find a pair from Abercrombie and Fitch. Sorry, I cannot talk. And they're barrel pants and they're bow-legged. And I thought this would look really, really silly. And it didn't. I actually really liked it. So this is how I styled it. I definitely feel like this is an edgier outfit. I like loved it. Wearing this outfit made me feel like I was a baddie, and it just gave me confidence. I felt really cool wearing it, and I know that sounds kind of like full of myself, but I think if you can put on an outfit and makes you feel like a baddie, then you should wear it, and it's like nothing to be ashamed of. If you put on an outfit and makes you feel like you're cool, that's awesome. There's nothing wrong feeling like that. I also thrifted this Kate Spade short sleeve sweater that had this really awesome pattern. It kind of had a vintage vibe to it. Paired it with black pants. I wore it to work, so it was a really great work outfit. I couldn't believe that I found it with new tags at the thrift store, and I was like, this is a perfect top to wear to work. So I really like this outfit, and I think I am going to repeat this one and then find other ways to style it as well. So the next favorite outfit is also a work outfit. I bought this linen vest set from Gap probably 2 years ago, and then I never had anything to wear it to because I wasn't going into the office anymore because I got laid off from my job, and I only went in once or twice a year for a meeting, and I wasn't really going out that much because I had no money. So when it got hot, I was like, I want to style this outfit. So this is how I styled it. I definitely layered on a lot of necklaces because I wanted to add just something that looked like me instead of just being boring and not having like any accessories, and I paired a leopard print belt with it and I loved it. This was another outfit that made me feel like a baddie, and I just felt so cool going into the office wearing this outfit, and I definitely am going to wear it again because it was awesome. And then I got 2 new dresses from H&M that I really like. I don't love shopping fast fashion, but sometimes it's hard to find prints that are novelty prints that fit me as a 16, 18. So that's where I go to H&M, and I got this one that has like a corset top. It's blue and black. I love it. It's really, really pretty. It is so comfortable. And then this other one is definitely kind of different for me. It's very bright. The colors are bright, and it has sardines and vegetables, and it's giving Mediterranean vibes, and I love it. And I wore it when I was in my hometown visiting my family a couple weeks ago, and I got so many compliments on this, probably 6 that day. Everybody just kept saying, I love your dress, I love your dress, where'd you get that dress, where'd you get that dress? Even my mom wants to order this dress. I don't even know if they still have it, but I love it. It's so cute, it's so unique, and it's very comfortable. So moving along just to some favorite memories. One of them was on Memorial Day. Kevin and I went to a state park in West Virginia that wasn't too far away from Pittsburgh, and we did some fishing and hiking, and it was nice to just get outdoors, spend time with nature. It was absolutely beautiful there. We saw lots of wildlife. We saw baby birds, geese, obviously fish because we were fishing, snakes. We saw a snake. Kevin is terrified of snakes. When I see one, I get excited because I think snakes are like cute little creatures. He's terrified and he runs away. It's really funny. But there was just rose bushes everywhere. It smelled so good. Like the whole state park smelled like roses. It was amazing. I've never seen so many wild roses before. It was really, really cool. Definitely a really nice park. I think we would go back there. You do, obviously, since we live in Pennsylvania, we have to pay for a special fishing license, but West Virginia is not that far away from Pittsburgh, so it's really not a big deal for us to travel to West Virginia. And then spending time with family, despite the fact that a lot of the times that I spent with my family is for sad reasons. I got to hang out with my brother and spend time with him. He lives in North Carolina, and I don't get to see him that much. And I got to see my nephew, his son. So it was really nice to spend time with them. Unfortunately, my sister-in-law had to work, so she couldn't come up because I haven't seen her in a very long time, but it was nice to see them, spend time with them. We got to hang out with them and my mom and with Kevin and just talk about old times back in high school, listen to metal music, it's just stuff that we used to do as kids, so that was pretty cool. And the third memory that I have is spending time with our best friend and his son, and we do Sunday dinners, and then we go and get ice cream, and that's always a really good time. I've talked about them a few times on my channel, that he's basically like my adopted nephew. Kevin's been friends with said best friend for almost like 20 years or something, and I've been with Kevin for 10, so I've been friends with them for a decade and have known his son since he literally was born. So they're basically part of the family. We're part of their family. I know their family very well. We're pretty much always together, always hanging out, having fun, so always having good memories with them. And last but not least, TV shows, movies, and books. I have read 7 books so far this year, and I'm currently in the middle of reading 6 maybe. I'm a mood reader, so I'm always hopping between different books. I have not had a 5-star read yet this year, which is kind of weird for me. Normally I at least have 1 or 2 5-star reads, but so far I haven't had one yet. However, my favorite book I read this year was The Third Gilmore Girl by Kelly Bishop. It was her autobiography, and I thought it was really interesting. I didn't know much about her besides playing Emily on Gilmore Girls and that she was in Dirty Dancing, and that was it. So that's really all I knew about her. I had no idea that she actually started in dance, that she had no official formal acting classes. I had no idea that she was in like a part of the Inspiration and was in A Chorus Line, which is a huge Broadway musical. I've never seen it, so I don't know anything about it, but apparently she was a big part of that. So that was really cool to learn a lot about her and her life. Thought it was a really good book. I don't have any good movies. I don't think I've watched that many this year. Can't really think. Nothing. If nothing's coming to me, that means that I haven't watched anything that I absolutely love. But I do have a show that I really, really liked, and it was season 2 of Wolf Hall, which is also a book. It is a book series by Hilary Mantel. She is no longer with us, so it took a very long time for them to get this season 2 out, because after her passing, the producers, the directors, the cast, they obviously had to move on without her. And it took a lot of work. I think this was done through PBS because it is about Thomas Cromwell, who was a big name for Henry VIII. He had possibly a big hand in Queen Anne Boleyn's downfall, and he himself later faced the wrath of Henry after he displeased him one too many times. So Hilary's books, as well as a TV show, focuses on Cromwell and his side of things, which is not something that you see very often. And it was just so good. And I have watched probably every single Tudor TV show, movie there is. It is one of my favorite time periods in history. I read tons and tons and tons of fiction and nonfiction books about Henry VIII, his 6 wives, his children. This is by far one of the absolute best Tudor TV shows I have ever seen. The acting, chef's kiss, superb. It was even better than the first season. I cried. Like, Thomas Cromwell normally is portrayed as a horrible, terrible person, and when he went to the block and was taken care of by Henry, I felt bad for him, and I was like, whoa, you made me feel a way about Thomas Cromwell that I really have never felt before. So if you're a history buff, if you watched The Tutors, which was a huge Showtime series with Jonathan Rhys-Meyers and Henry Cavill, watch this. It's really good. It's definitely not as juicy as The Tutors because it is a little bit more historical drama without all of the fiction and craziness. But it's really, really good. It's done really, really well. And the actors did a really great job. I'm sad that it's over and that there isn't going to be another season or anything, because obviously Cromwell was no longer with us at the end of the season. That's kind of a spoiler alert, but if you know anything about Cromwell, we all know how it ends. But it was really good. Highly recommend that. So that's all the favorites I have. I feel like this video is going to be a bit of a longer video because there's a lot to talk about. Let me know in the comments below, what are some of the wins that you have for this year, and what are you looking forward to for the rest of 2025. Thank you guys so much for watching. I always appreciate it. If you did like this video, make sure you like and subscribe, and I will connect with you in the next one. Bye.